It's the Selling for Life podcast.
If you're buying, we're selling.
Here's your three-headed monster, Steve, Big Al, and Kevin.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Welcome to another installment of the Selling for Life podcast, sponsored by Conoco Parts, a world of parts with a personal touch. This podcast is about more than just selling stuff. We think if you stick around, you get a lot out of it. And if you're buying, we're what, Al?
Selling.
Selling. Awesome. Okay. This is episode 51. I'm Steve, joined by Conoco owner, data tracker, and hipster Al Alexander. We're also joined by sales professional and all-around great guy, Kevin Ziliaks. What's up?
Whoop, whoop.
There's the whoop, whoop.
What's up,
That
Steve?
means it's time. As soon as you hear that whoop, whoop, it's time.
You only call me a hipster because I have a really cool, like a little straw fedora hat on
right.
and Jordans.
That's exactly right. I
Hipster.
decide what to call you based on how you look and how you act that day. And today you are definitely a hipster.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, let's get going. You guys know what time it is? Have you any clue whatsoever what time it is? It's time for news headlines. Albert, let's start with you. What do you have? What's going on in the world?
This is awesome. Close to my heart. Model 3 driver. We have a friend who's a Model 3 driver. That's a Tesla. Falls asleep. Autopilot on. Crashes into 11 construction barriers.
Fantastic. He was asleep at the wheel, but apparently that's what you're encouraged to do in a Tesla is just go to sleep while your car is moving.
Wow.
And
Can we also point out that this guy that we know that is a Model 3 owner
yeah,
is also a Trump hater and Hillary supporter?
yeah. And there
I'm
you
not
go.
I'm not saying that there's any relation, but
There's a correlation.
there probably is.
They obviously
It could be. I couldn't. So I'm in Yellowstone last month, or beginning of this month. I couldn't believe how many people were driving Teslas, through the mountains. Cool. There's 2 hours where you don't see a freaking anything.
yeah.
Like, how do they even get their stuff charged? Do they have like a solar,
battery or
The
what?
sun.
a solar thing?
The
going
sun
on?
charges it. Or in the
I
world
don't think
of,
that solar's been created yet. No.
in the world of the liberals, they just come together and kumbaya the energy into their systems.
They were from
They
California.
channel the
True.
universe to
Where the heck were they charging?
coal, oil. We don't need that. We'll just think really hard and make the energy.
Dude. No, but seriously, autopilot is happening.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of like car kind of concept type of things on Instagram, and there's so many new concepts coming out, and it's all about automation.
Yeah.
The new BMW one just blew me away.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, apparently that Tesla blew a few people away as well. The construction site.
Yeah.
Kevin, what do you have for a news headline?
A$AP Rocky, the rapper, in case you don't know who he is.
Okay.
He was over there touring at a concert, and a couple guys started following him around, and they probably just wanted to mess with somebody that was famous to try to get some, marketing, I guess, right?
Marketing? Oh, yeah?
Marketing.
So they started messing with him, and eventually, long story short, they got beat up. He got arrested, and he's been incarcerated for, I think, like a week now. Anyway, Kanye West reached out to his boy, Donald J. Trump.
Yes, sir?
Yeah.
That tried to pull some strings. Hasn't happened yet, but
Okay.
I'm hoping it does.
Wow.
Because I'm sure people don't like that. You know what I mean? But he was just charged today with assault.
Okay.
They officially charged him.
Wow.
He's still in jail over there.
Oh, he's going to be stuck.
Never heard of
Yeah,
the
I
guy.
don't think a president can really do anything about that because there's a victim. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in law's eyes, you can't just be, he's famous and you're the president.
Got to be
I don't
justice,
think
man.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, let's stick with entertainment. Jennifer Lopez. You guys know how old she is now? She just had her birthday.
40?
Not too old.
Not too old,
40?
but did you say 40?
I'm going to say she's about
Kevin?
45.
45?
47, actually. Let's
She
go with 47.
turned the big 50.
Oh, wow.
50 years old, Jennifer Lopez. And she had a huge 50-year-old birthday bash. And it was in Miami, real big. I think they probably spent quite a bit of money on this little shindig. Alex Rodriguez. What do you think he got? Alex Rodriguez and J-Lo, they're going to be getting married.
Right.
What do you think he got J-Lo for her birthday? What do you get a
Somebody
mega
with all the
superstar with all the money? What do you think he got her? I'm going to give you three guesses, okay? Okay. He got her a garden full of flowers planted in Central Park.
Oh.
Okay. Or, that's A. Or B, he got her a super sweet box of chocolates that are very rare chocolates from Burma. Or C, he got her a $140,000 Porsche.
The chocolates.
Chocolates?
I'm going to say all three.
All three? So D, I'll add D, all the above.
Yeah, why not?
The answer is he got her a $140,000 red Porsche.
No way.
How boring.
A red Porsche.
That is boring.
That is stupid.
Is it the new Cayman?
I don't know, but
140 isn't a very expensive Porsche.
well, for them, to me that's the story. Like we read it and we're like, oh wow, she got a $140,000 red Porsche for her birthday. To them, I mean, how many red Porsches?
like what's a Boxster cost now? And those are like entry level.
That
A Boxster's probably about 90, 100,000. 140 is nothing.
I think he makes. I'm not even. Is he still in baseball?
No.
Okay.
Here's the picture.
But he's still making like $3,000 an hour
It's
around
a
the
regular
clock, right?
Porsche.
That's garbage.
It's a regular one.
I could buy a used one.
Yeah.
No joke.
So let me ask you guys. You guys been pretty busy this past week? Okay, great.
Not more
'Cause
than usual.
I'm just asking to set myself up for the lead into our topic. And, I'm super busy. I'm doing these YouTube channels. And you guys have seen them. What do you think? Pretty cool? No? Yes?
No.
Yeah. I mean, if it ends up making you money in the long run, then it'd be cool.
Well, then there you go.
Until then.
I've learned I've learned a lot about YouTube, and YouTube requires a lot of patience and it just keep working at it. These YouTube channels that are really popular, I noticed that a lot of the first videos were posted 8 years ago, 10 years ago. It takes time. We're starting another one here, Ben's Bow Show. Well, starting it up again. And what I learned over this time was that to be successful on YouTube, you have to be consistent. You have to keep at it. And, of course, that brings us to the topic of the day. And the topic of the day is...
Dry erase markers?
Consistency. Like this podcast alone, we have, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 downloads a month or a week. It's going to take a lot of time. If you want results, you need to be consistent. Losing weight, got to, when it comes to saving money, consistency. You want disciplined kids, you have to be consistent with them. You have to have rules and consequences. When it comes to sales, you also need consistency. So how can you be consistent as a sales professional? And that's where I shut up and Al comes in. Al, take it away. Consistency.
Well, you and I and everybody in the world are a sum of our habits, right? We're a sum of, actions and activities and, choices that we make. And a lot of times, like you're saying, you won't have patience. You won't have a consistent, confident kind of, what's that word I used earlier? It was commitment. Oh, that's what it is. You were listening.
I was.
You won't have that commitment. Why? What would be stopping you from that?
Discouragement.
It could be discouragement. Well, usually it's because you just don't have that immediate reward.
Yeah.
I think our whole generation and even past generation, in the last generation, really has lost that tenacity to just hold on for a long-term payoff. Mm-hmm. So you got a wonderful subject right now. Consistency. Committing to doing the thing that I don't know if it's going to pay off.
Right.
But I'm going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough racket right now. Like you said, YouTube takes a long time.
When it comes to the sales guys here, how do you encourage them to be consistent at anything that we implement here to help encourage them to keep going?
I got like 5 or 6 messages that I say over and over again. There's only a handful of things that I have broken my life down to, that it kind of feeds into decision making, and I just basically have the same message, because these areas are what works, and you do them consistently, and it brings about a result. And we measure those by like KPIs, key performance indicators.
Okay.
Once you identify these things, like we had our last episode about, kind of inspecting things, looking at reality, looking at numbers, looking at results, inspection of the activities that would get you to a goal. You got to be consistent with it, and if you're not, sometimes you might just walk out of an opportunity 3 days before you're successful.
Okay.
When you put 3 years of time in. I hate that concept. It's almost like I always had this fear of loss, fear of missing the opportunity, and I'm an opportunist. So I'll hold on a lot longer and put a lot more time into something and commitment than the average person will. And I think that's why the business grew and has lasted as much as it is a bunch of us here have bought into this. We're willing to do what most people aren't willing to do.
When is it time to say, okay, shut it down. We need to shut it down. This isn't working out.
Oh, you mean like when to cut and release?
Yeah, because, you sit, like, for instance, these YouTube channels, they say just keep at it, and if 4 or 5 years into it, you still only have 100 subscribers, it's probably time to quit. But after a year, should you quit if you only have 100 subscribers? How do you, what type of techniques are there to help you decide whether or not consistency is paying off?
Consistency versus doing something that is obviously like a failure is what you're saying. Like realizing your failure.
Yeah, how do you tell the difference?
Moving on from it. First, what I do is I take stock of why I'm doing something. So motivation, what's the reason? What's my goal and results? Again, taking stock of, what activities I'm putting in, trying to count the results. I just asked everybody here to kind of give me an idea of the repeat business. And you kind of physically count the estimates that come in from repeat customers, the invoices that get written up by repeat customers. I need an actual number from everyone. I want to kind of see our efforts in marketing. Are they working? Where are they working? Because I like to see how many new opportunities we're driving into, our business. I like to see how many repeat opportunities we're driving into our business. And then we can adjust. If you don't take stock of all of these things, like why I'm doing something, the actual actions and activities, the results of those, then you can't make a decision, that's wise. So if I took stock of all those things and I realized, hey, these things that I'm taking stock of are stupid because the results suck, I'm going to adjust them. Now, I might not give up the cause, right? I just might adjust my focus or adjust, some things that I'm doing, advise people in the business to focus on something else. Let's try that out.
Okay.
And then take stock again.
Okay.
And look at the results, and that's something that, we definitely do here is we'll try something, see the results. It works, we'll keep on doing it. If it doesn't, we'll move on to something else.
Okay. We
only do what we're really, really good at. And the reason why is because we're going to play off of our strengths rather than, it's always great to people say, hey, let's work on the weaknesses, let's get that better and be more equalized. I'm like, I don't know. If I put the effort of being a little bit average in areas that I'm below average, or the other choice is being great at something and I can be even better at it and put more effort in that, which would you rather do? Well, I like the idea of a momentum, taking advantage of that type of exponential growth. So I'm going to do what I'm really good at already and get even better at it. And then it overflows to everybody else. Maybe you don't see all the areas that you have to, push, the mundane or simple things that you don't realize because, hey, maybe you're a big picture person. You got to find out who's really good at those little things or force yourself to do them. But what do you do really well? Well, you're great at production and editing and ideas and, things of that nature. So you got good content. But if you don't have something that gets it out to the market, maybe you're not good at that. You need to add that to somebody else.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably it's something you really should do is seek counsel from somebody else that knows whether or not you're wasting your time and whether or not being consistent at it's going to make a difference at the end of the line, whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Great insight. I like that.
All right. Well, that brings us to the next segment, and that is Al's yourselves inspirational words of encouragement. Al?
Listen, if you find yourself in the morning wanting to wear a pair of sneakers and a fedora, but you're afraid your coworkers are going to make fun of you and call you a hipster,
just do it.
Just freaking do it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. All right, that brings us to the end of our 51st Selling for Life podcast. Check out our website at sellingforlife.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Hey, you guys know how many followers we have on Twitter now? We have like 55 followers on Twitter. I don't know who's following us, but it's somebody. Can't pronounce most of their names, but remember, whether you're selling sunshine or you're selling sunblock to block out that sunshine, one thing is for sure, you're always selling for life.